What's up, people? Before we get started, let me tell you about my adventures. I had to cancel the show yesterday. Well, postpone it. I ended up in the emergency room the other night. I ate some shrimp, probably about four, and I had the allergic reaction of life. It's like my whole face swelled up and my lips got big, my tongue swelled up. I could look at myself breaking out in hives. It was crazy. It was just insane. And I could feel my throat closing up. And so I dipped out of here, ran to, luckily there's a hospital like, I don't know, a mile and a half away from here, and went to the emergency room. And they kept my ass there for 5 hours. And I left with all kind of stuff. And I'm still not, feeling okay. I mean, anaphylaxis, you could die from that. I seriously thought I wasn't going to make it if my tongue kept swelling up like it was. And I tell you, I'm going to show you this bruise. I took a picture of it today. Now, keep in mind, this is days after. This is, okay, when I went to the emergency room, I walked in, I made it to the door. Like they had these double sliding glass door things, and there was two security guards there. That was as far as I could go. I couldn't breathe anymore. So I just like fell out. And this young guy, I mean, this little dude, he looked like a toothpick, but he has the strength of Hercules or somebody. He picked my ass up off the floor, and I knew I had to outweigh him by at least 30 pounds. And he picked me up and threw me like I was a piece of paper into a wheelchair and flew me down, around the corner into where the intake part is. But let me show you this bruise. This is how hard this kid grabbed me. That's this is today. So this is days and days later. And that's still how it looks. That's how hard he grabbed me with that much force to pull me up off the floor and put me in that wheelchair to get me back so I could start getting treatment. So yesterday I still really wasn't breathing that well. So I knew it was pointless for me to try to do the show. But honey, that's what happened here to your friend. And they said it's like, that happens sometimes. People, you don't have any kind of, no reactions. Well, anyway, now I have an EpiPen and I have to carry build a drill with me. And he told me, don't you ever even look at a piece of shellfish as long as you live. Because evidently, once you had this reaction one time, that's it for you. So I'm like, okay, that cured me. And yeah, testosterone's real. Yeah, I guess so, Keith, because this kid, he was a little skinny kid. He looked like, I don't know, because I thanked him after, when they let me go. He looked like he could have been older than maybe 22. A kid, young, skinny, like, like the little bony man like that. He picked my ass up like I was a Barbie doll and threw me in that wheelchair. And I was happy, he was there, little young brother, but he was like, I mean, he could have been my kid, you know what I mean? And his eyes was big as saucers. He flung my ass off that floor. But yeah, that was just an unbelievable. I mean, it happened so fast. Like, I could just see my face swelling up and see the what you call them, hives. I'm sitting there looking at it. And then I thought, okay, you idiot, this is something serious. You need to get out of here. And I started for a while. I thought about maybe I should call an ambulance. And I thought, no, they'll take too long to get here. I could get to the emergency room faster than it's going to take them to get here and then get me to the emergency room. So I jumped in my car and I went over there. But luckily I left when I did. If I had hesitated another minute or two, y'all might not ever have seen me again. That's how serious they said, because my throat was closing up. And if they get people like that, they have to do a tracheotomy so that you can breathe. So I was like, okay. So I just wanted to tell you that was what happened. And it was just so sudden and so unbelievable. I don't know. I'm still kind of in shock, because it was like you just could feel your life passing before your eyes. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna get to do February. I'm gonna be dead. That's all I was feeling. It was crazy. So that's why we're having What the Fuck Wednesday instead of What the Fuck Tuesday. Unreal. Thank you. Thanks, Shay. Girl, I'm telling you, I was like, You just sit there. I'm just looking like, and they were telling me how they had people coming in there whose whole bodies were swollen up and everything. They dosed them up with all kind of stuff, and the people were still having a reaction. Yeah, no more shrimp for me. No more, no shellfish. Period. I'm scared to even eat regular fish now. So I think I'm gonna just hold off. I'm not gonna eat nothing. I'm gonna just be a vegetable girl for a minute. I'm not eating nothing that could even remotely have allergens in it because my system is still too kind of fired up. So yeah, you guys. So you had a family member pass away that way. Ooh, yeah, they said it. So I'm like, what the hell is in shrimp? This is taking people's lives. This is not even funny. The mic sounds clearer. Well, I don't know what to say about that because uh, let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, is this better? I turned on something called echo cancellation. Just tell me thumbs up if it sounds better. I don't know. Every time I get on here, the settings have changed. That happened to you before? Shit. This ain't no joke. It's no joke. No joke, joke, joke. This is terrible. But I mean, I know my voice, that might be part of what you're saying is the sound. It's called anaphylactic shock. Anaphylaxis is what it was called. But I know I sound a little, husky because my throat is still not all the way unswollen. But I'm going to do the best I can. And hopefully that will be good enough. So I don't know if I'll be my usual perky, snarky self as much as usual, but I will do what I can. Okay, good. Thanks, you guys. Okay, let's get started. Oh, what is this? This says thank you letter, not advice. Oh, somebody sent in a a letter. Okay, young lady from San Jose. It says, hello, Miss Deborah Cooper. It's such a delight writing to you. I don't have a question, more of a thank you for your wisdom. My name is Sydney, and I just want to thank you tremendously for helping Black women like myself with dating because it's hard out here. I know you're located in the Bay Area as am I. I'm in San Jose. My mom just up and left the family when I was 23 as it was time for me to get serious about dating. I'm 27 now. I wish I could talk to her now about the regrets and mistakes she made so I could learn from her, but she lost contact with her ex-husband, my dad, and her own kids. I've seen her sacrifice a lot for her husband and my brother and I, never putting herself first. She was never happy in the marriage, and I do not want to end up resentful like her. I've seen some resentful older women out there, and I understand why. The pressure society places on women is very persuasive. Society forces women to not use their own discernment on who they would make a good husband or not. It seems like society never tells women it's okay to be single. I watch your videos daily and you are very much appreciated. Anyways, I just wanted to really honestly and genuinely thank you for all of your videos and insight. They are so beneficial. I share them with some of my friends. You're a huge influence and inspiration. Hope you have a great holiday season. With love, Sydney. Aww. You know, um, this came right on time. Kind of lift my spirits because man, your friend over here, I'm telling you, I don't know. I was seriously thinking I wasn't gonna make it. I have to keep saying it because I seriously did think if my tongue keeps swelling up and I can't breathe, I'm not gonna make it. I was thinking that. So, but yeah, this is very nice. So this is nice. It makes me feel better. Thank you, Sydney. Okay, let's get started, everybody. Thanks, Mr. Key. Let's get started with our 25 advice questions today for What the Fuck Wednesday. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Liverpool, England. She says, I'm 23. My parents always hated each other, so my mom pretty much always wanted to get affection from me since I was a little kid. I often slept with her in her bed until I was about 12 or 13 because I didn't want to anymore. She always kisses me and hugs me without my permission and says I'm cruel for not letting her because how would I feel if my dog didn't let me pet him? But if my dog is uncomfortable with something I am doing, I stop doing it. She says she's my mother and she's allowed to kiss me if she wants. And she doesn't care if I don't want that. She literally asked me to sit in her lap every few days. I always tell her no, but she has no one else to get affection from. And she won't stop trying to touch or kiss me no matter what I do. I'm out of ways to get her to stop. I tried explaining to her calmly, running away when she comes at me, yelling, pushing her away, and asking why she doesn't kiss and hug and sit on her mother's lap. Everything I would think of. I'm extremely uncomfortable with this and I don't know what to do. I can't move out until I graduate and get a job, and living like this with someone who still acts like I'm four makes me crazy. What do you think I should say or do here? I think you should tell your mother every time you do that to me, it's like you're raping me. Now I know this is going to be harsh, but I'm telling you, just how you're going to have to get her attention. You say you are all over me, just like unwanted touches, which is just what men do. And when men do it and grab women and force them to touch them and force themselves on them to kiss them, it's called a sexual assault. And that's what you're doing to me. I don't want you touching my body. It's mine. I determine who touches it or not, and I don't care if you're my mother. It's my body, and I say no. And you're ignoring it. You're sexually assaulting me every time you do that. So then, when some man does it, then what are you going to say? Because I'm going to be used to it by then. You already conditioning me to not have any voice and any autonomy over my own body because somebody else wants to touch me. I have to let them do it. That's what you're teaching me. You get in her head like that. Yeah, this is just abnormal. It's not even emotional incest, it's physical as well because she's forcing touches on her. This is so inappropriate, but unfortunately, since you're past the age of, you know, a minor, you can't even report it to like CPS or anything like that because you're technically an adult. But of course, you're not going to push her away with any kind of force because your mother and you don't want to hurt her and all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, you're going to have to get her attention like this. Compare her behavior to some rapey guy so she can understand that whether it's coming from a man or coming from her, the effect on you is exactly the same. And that's the association that you need to make. All this other stuff is different. And she's going to try to say, well, but I'm your mother. It doesn't matter who's touching me, mom. If I don't want somebody to touch my body, I'm being sexually assaulted. That's what's happening to me. You are doing it to me. Yeah, I mean that's you asked me for what to say. I'm telling you. You say that to her and watch her face crack. She needs to get her to go online and find herself, put her at personals ad up or something so she can get some of them booty hound men that want to touch and rub all over her. She'll be all right because she's still young enough to want to be bothered with all of that. Question number 2, female, 22 to 27, Baltimore, Maryland. I'm 23 and my ex is 23 too. He wants to meet up and catch up after 4 years, and I really don't feel like it. Should I feel bad for declining him? Why do you have to ask me if you should feel bad to not want to meet up with your ex? I'm just really not interested. I don't want to catch up or tell him about my life or hear about his life. I really don't want to go over our relationship, and I certainly don't want to date him again. I declined and said that I hope he is doing well, but I'm not really interested. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I'm thinking that is the best to just be straight. I don't have an obligation to see him, right? Should I feel bad? No, you should not feel bad. And he has a lot of nerve calling you up after 4 years trying to get you to waste some time on his ass. You were good to even say that you wish him well. What'd you say? You hope he's doing well and you're sorry. I wouldn't have said I'm sorry. I just would have said I don't want to be bothered with your ass. I've been bothered with you for 4 years. Why didn't you block him? Was he able to still reach out to you? You girls kill me with this shit. You break up with people and then you don't even block them. And then you want to be getting all in a bitch out of shape when they call you. They wouldn't be able to call you if you block their numbers. And I'm the kind like I have my Google number, right? So if it's a number I don't recognize, it gets picked up by that. Because only the numbers in my address book or whatever phone book contacts list get to ring through. Everything else Google picks up. And there's only like 5 numbers in there because I don't really talk on the phone that much. But you don't ever have to feel right. You feel bad about telling a man no about anything that you don't want to be bothered with. Okay. Question number 3. This is a male in the 35 to 41 age group from San Antonio, Texas. I'm looking for a little advice. Growing up, my friend was the guy that all of the girls liked. When he got married shortly after I met my wife, we had been married just under 20 years. 20 years, okay, so you must be on the older. This is 35 to 41, you must be in that 41 or something. One day, we were just kind of lighthearted talking about the past and growing up, and I mentioned that this friend always got the girls. My wife kind of mentioned in humor that it was a good thing that he was married when we met. It hurt much more than I thought. I tried to talk with my wife about it, but she wasn't having a discussion. We both know it was true. This friend is still around, and it seems like my wife does like him. We have a good relationship, however. Since that day, I have noticed that my attitude towards her has changed. I'm not nearly as loving. Any advice? Yes, slap yourself and grow the fuck up. You know what? You know what? Women can be just like men like to look at women movie stars and have a starlet or a rapper, female rapper, or somebody in a magazine or some model or something. I mean, everybody has somebody that they find attractive. You idiot! Just because she's not doesn't wouldn't do anything like that to disrespect you. So what the fuck are you talking about? You tripping? And I haven't been as loving. So she only supposed to look at you her entire life like you the only man on the planet. You kind of special. But she knows she can't even joke with you like that. You too sensitive. You like a little adolescent pubescent girl. You're supposed to be a grown man in his 40s. This is sad. Why don't you man the fuck up and stop this pouting little routine? It hurt me, baby man. He's just a baby man, just whining. Ugh. You lucky I'm not your wife, because I would be cussing you out. Question number 4. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from San Jose, California. Out in a busy, lively restaurant last night catching up with a friend. We were there about an hour when some random man walked up to our table and said to me directly, "Do you ever smile?" What? I was a bit confused in a moment as I had no idea who he was. And my friend and I had been talking. So I was like, "Excuse me?" I must have moved from what was clearly a resting bitch face to a smile. And he was like, "Oh, you do." And then he walked off. I mean, why do you do that? Why do that? Keith said he's trying to get shot. Dusty men always want to try to command women what to do with their face. And now that you are aware of this, I mean, I don't know, you in the 28 to 34 age group seem like you would be aware of this game by now. Whenever some man comes up to you and it says anything about what you need to do with your face, you're supposed to cuss him out. The least that you would say is, "Get the fuck away from my table. I'm not here to be talking to you. You're interrupting my flow." Or you could have just said, "Waiter, will you get this trash away from our table?" Or you could have said, "I only smile for people that pay me. You got $5,000?" That would have wiped that smirk off his fucking face real quick. That's what I usually say. There's all kinds of witty, snarky, nasty, bitchy things that you can say to people like that who interject themselves into your life. See, men they only do that to women. They never do that to guys because they know better. Because the dude would be like, "Motherfucker, ain't nobody here talking to you, nigga. Get the fuck out." They'd be like that about it. So they wouldn't do that because they already know if the guy didn't jump up and punch him. So, but they do that to women because they feel like women, they just have this kind of power and this right to put themselves into women's spaces, into women's faces, into women's lives, into women's conversations, to just take over because we're lesser humans than them. That's why when they do that kind of stuff, they will never see my face change. If anything, I will put on a snarl and then the words will flow. So you need to practice that because you cannot let people catch you off guard like this. When you out in public and you around motherfuckers, you need to always have your guard up. Okay? Always. No, I'm not coughing. I'm cussing. I'm a cuss. Yeah. I mean, all kind of stuff because, we're not going to do that. And I just feel like if you feel like you have the right, you're so fucking entitled to my time that you can just force yourself into my conversation and into my space and into my world without an invitation. You force yourself, then whatever comes out of my mouth after that, don't say shit. And if I pull out you try to get jiggy and I tap your ass with my stun gun, don't say nothing because you would have brought that on yourself. You should have kept fucking walking. Yeah, they only do that to women. I'm telling you, I've watched this for decades, and they only do it to women. Only, never to a man, never, because dudes just some of them just not wrapped too tight anyway. And then the ones, even ones they can be like, "What you trying to talk to me for, motherfucker?" But you gay? I mean, what's up? That's the kind of response they likely to get, and so they don't want none of that smoke, so they just leave them alone. They only bother women. Exactly. Roscoe is lovely. So anyway, that's really unfortunate that happened. But that's what you do, okay, for the future. And all of you listening too, prepare yourselves, especially before summer comes up, because now people have 2 years of being in the house, right? So next summer, everybody's gonna have their shots and whatnot. So people are gonna be out. So get ready. Okay, it's gonna be coming. So you get yourselves ready. Get your pepper spray or whatever you're gonna need. Have all your shit in your hand and right in your pocket, like I said. Don't be having your shit in your purse buried with all your MAC makeups and all this other stuff that you're gonna be having in there. You want to have it so you can get to it. You can't be saying, "Oh, okay, Mr. Robert, just hold on a minute while I dig through all my stuff in this giant satchel that I have here with all these brand names on it and find with my self-protection." Let's move on. Question number 5. Female, 59 to 65, from Yonkers, New York. I've been dating somebody for almost 3 months. During the first month or so, he seemed happy to pay when we went out. Not any high-end restaurants, though. I always offered to pay, but he declined, so I made him a few nice dinners. Okay, 3 months, 59 to 65. Okay. Since doing that, we haven't been out to dinner much, but we have plans to go out with friends the next 2 weekends, so I would hope he'd pick up the tab. We just went on our first weekend getaway, and he asked if we could split the cost of the room and food at the hotel, which I thought was okay, so I did. I don't have an issue with splitting everything, but it would be nice if he bought a bottle of wine or some flowers one of the weekends he comes over, since I buy him food to have a nice breakfast and something to eat during the day. I also buy wine when I make him dinner. Okay, so he's coming over now all these weekends and he's not contributing anything. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm following along. He then says if things work out with us, he wants to live with me, quote, and between the two of us, we could live nicely, end quote. I am very financially stable. I live in a beautiful home and have a good nest egg since I've worked as an attorney for 38 years. And he professes that he is too financially stable, but currently lives in a one-bedroom apartment with little furniture. He did divorce a few years ago, and he says he lives like that because it was only temporary. And since staying with me on the weekends, he realizes how comfortable my home is and that he can afford to live somewhere much nicer. And he wants to start that process now, even if we don't live together for a while. He just gave me a card for Thanksgiving, Deb, and I noticed it came from the dollar store. Wow. By the way, I like the dollar store for certain things, but not the first holiday card for your girlfriend or boyfriend. But why would you give somebody a holiday card for Thanksgiving? I told him in the beginning, I need to be with someone I know can take care of themselves financially since I'm almost 65 years old, and he says that he can. Deb, I also have a slightly disabled son and I'm a widow, so my son needs my financial help as well. Does it sound like this man is a bit tight when it comes to money? I am generous and I don't want to be with someone who is cheap or really has no financial stability. What is your assessment of this guy as described? Start dating someone else. Date someone else and do not put stock into this situation. This guy is broke. He's broke and he's trying to move up in your house. Don't let that happen. Tell him that you don't want to live with anyone. You prefer that you maintain a separate residence. You like your privacy and you want space for your son to visit when he wants to or whatever, other family, whatever. I mean, make up something. But don't let that man move in your house ever. When he starts wanting to come over, Next time, don't wait for him to bring something. Say, stop and pick up a bottle of, I don't know, Pinot Noir. I like such and such a brand. And see what he does. He better walk in the door with the wine. You know, I'm just really not feeling dude. And he just got all these designs on we could live together and we could live quite nicely. No, bitch, I'm living quite nicely already. What are you going to add to my life? And that might be something you want to ask him. See, I'm just that bold. I would say, okay, you said that, both of us could live quite nicely, but I'm already living nicely by myself. What is it that you think you're going to bring to my life that would make me want to let you move up in my house? I would just be blunt with him like that and see what he has to say. Yeah, but see, that's my thing too. My thing, I would be like, I would date other people. And then if he, wants to come over the weekend, say, oh no, I'm seeing George this weekend, so I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm tied up. Yeah, E. Dunlap, I did. I think I probably lost. I don't know. That's a good question. I forgot to ask him because I went to the doctor. Uh, I forgot to ask them how much I weigh. I could compare weights. Yeah, but I could tell. I could tell. I don't know. Just because someone see this is the thing. This is what you call. Okay, there's a lot of people that are book smart. I mean, as far as knowing stuff, reading stuff, memorizing stuff, being able to analyze facts and figures and recall them, excellent, top notch. But there's another thing called emotional intelligence and street smarts. The best lawyers have all three. They will fuck you up. But if you only have the book smarts, hopefully that would be somebody who's like estates and trusts, I don't know, corporate attorney, contracts, torts, whatever, something like that. Real estate, maybe. If you to be a litigator, an entertainment law attorney, something like that, you have to have a lot of street smarts and game. And so she obviously was something not that kind. Yeah. So, everybody, I mean, they could be excellent at their job, don't get me wrong. But when you get them outside of that arena, that's where you get to see their weakness. And I think that's what's happening here. But she's a widow. So I mean, she probably was married most of her life. And maybe she didn't have much dating experience if she got married really young. We don't really know what the people's story is. All we have is this one little tiny piece of their life that they asked to be analyzed. I don't know what got her where she is, but it could be any or all of those things. Okay, so let's move on to question number 6. This is a female, 22 to 27 age group from Seattle, Washington. I'm really worried about becoming controlling, and I'm just wondering if you have any advice for me. I've been dating a guy for a few months now, and I'm feeling really annoyed today because yesterday some of our mutual work friends asked us both to go out for drinks with them. And he said he didn't want to as he wanted to spend time with me alone, and he doesn't really like those colleagues. So we spent time together and we both went our separate homes about midnight. Today at work, one of those work friends asked why I didn't go out with them all last night. I explained what happened, and he asked why the guy I'm dating went. He showed me messages of him asking to be picked up 10 minutes after I dropped him off at home. One of the girls texted me today to ask if I was all right because she was worried about me not going when he went by himself. I've been really annoyed about this today because he hasn't said anything to me about it, and he told me he didn't want us to go. Oh, that's really interesting. I know people are allowed to go out and do whatever they want. We're only dating and we are exclusive though. And obviously he's in no way my property, so he can do this whenever he wants. That's why I'm asking for advice on how to become less clingy and controlling. Surely I shouldn't be so annoyed. Is this a case of needing therapy? No, this is a case of needing to break up. He pulled the old switcheroo on you. So he got you to not go by saying, let's spend time by ourselves. And then the second you dropped him off and you went home, because you met his request not to go and to spend time with him, then he gonna double cross you and go out with the people anyway. So see, to me, that would be grounds to break up because that was manipulation, that was coercion, And that was a flat out lie. He had every intention of going out. He just didn't want you to go. Now, why did he not want you to go? Is there some other woman there that he's interested in? That's most likely would be what my mind would take me, because otherwise there would be no reason for him to hide it. He would just be able to say, "Oh, I'm still not sleepy yet. I'm going to go hang out with these people." Or after the two of you hung out, why not just say, "Oh, do you have any energy left? Let's go, have like one drink with them or something." You both would have went. But that's not what he did, and he did it all backdoor, secret, and on the under. As even the next day, he hasn't mentioned it to you. So this means that he did it with intent to hide it from you. And therefore, with putting all of those things together, that would mean that Deborah would be like, "Fuck you, don't talk to me, we're through here, sir." I'm not gonna play those kind of games. So what you're doing is you trying to turn it around and just make it be like there's something wrong with you. Get rid of this man. This man is dishonest and manipulative. This is not anybody that you want to invest emotions in. He played you so he could get out by himself. That's like the worst kind of man that you could have, that would do some shit like that. And this is a warning. This is a red flag. It's not anything where you really got hurt yet. But this kind of mentality, this kind of behavior is the kind that you could get really, really hurt. Get rid of this guy. He's not trustworthy. Yeah, he's a piece of work. Question number 7, male in the 28 to 34 age group from Vancouver, Canada. I need advice for how to address my FWB's mustache without hurting her feelings. Okay, girlfriend. So my 28-year-old, wait, no, I'm 28 and she's 29, has a bit of a mustache that I don't think she notices. I didn't really notice it myself until recently. We've known each other a couple of months, and I only see it when I'm close to her or in bright lighting, but it's there. I know it's a silly thing to care about, but it's a turn off now that I see and feel it whenever I see her. And when we kiss, you feel it? Any advice on how to bring this up? I don't want to hurt her feelings. Wow. Yeah, what waxing is kind of like, ooh, that's gonna hurt. Uh, how to bring this up? You know, I have two minds of it. One is, this ain't your woman. This just a FWB. So if it's not fun for you to be FWBs anymore, because I see you finding fault and want to complain about some shit, then just take your dicks elsewhere, sir. That's all you have to do. She don't owe you shit. And she don't have to be going to get painful waxing or electrolysis or anything to please your donkey ass. So take your mustache phobic self on somewhere and find a woman who does all of that, and you don't have no problem with it. No, he shouldn't tell her anything. He should mind his business and go take his little raggedy FWB dick somewhere else. That's what he should do. You're an FWB. It's not your woman. Okay? She don't have to do shit for you. And you don't have no nerve, you don't have no right to ask her. Okay? You just say, "Oh, I met somebody." That's what FWBs are for. You be a FWB until you meet somebody. So just lie until you met somebody. Big whoop-de doo. Then you don't have to worry about it. Shut up, Keith. Keith is stupid. Question number 8, female in the 22 to 27 age group from Oakland, California. Hi, I'm a 23-year-old out of Oakland. I really need advice on how to not be intimidated by people. I pretty much get bullied and punked by my family and sometimes others because it's hard for me to assert myself. And even when I try, which I do most of the time, it is not taken seriously. My whole life, when my brother or cousin would bully me and I say something, my mom would say, "Just be quiet, stop whining." Even to this day, anytime I would get angry, she would just tell me to shut up or stop talking about it. Wow. I don't really know how to argue with people without getting overwhelmed, and then I start crying. And most of the time, when people are rude or disrespectful to me, I don't even know what to say and I feel anxiety. If I do say something, I don't know how to handle the aftermath. I'm afraid to make people upset at me, even when I know I'm being treated unfairly or without boundaries. I don't even know how to approach it. I also have no middle ground. I'm either begrudgingly biting my tongue or screaming in a fit. Yeah, because you don't have any handle on managing those emotions and that kind of those kind of boundaries. Then my family gangs up on me and I feel cornered and defeated. It always leaves me uneasy because they will never respect me and will excuse each other. But I am always supposed to be respectful and hold my tongue. Please help. I don't want to be intimidated by people anymore. Stop cussing they fucking asses out. Haven't you watched enough of my videos to know how to say fuck off, all of y'all? Kiss my ass, you black motherfuckers. Stuff like that. You know why I say that? And I want you to practice it. Because the very fact that they gang up on you, you are like the family whipping post. And your own mother basically just sets you up to be abused. It tells you to shut up and take it. That's what's happening here. I don't know if you've translated it to that, but that's exactly what's happening by the males in your family. She just tells you to shut up and take it. So in that instance, you would really what you probably need to do though is get yourself some therapy, get some counseling because you need help with finding your voice. And this is way beyond the scope of what can be done in this column. But I, for one, know that with people like this, cussing them out always, always works. The problem is, I'm not sure you have the strength to do that yet. But that would be a good, I mean, you want her to back off, that would be the way to do it. It's you start cussing them out a couple of times. Say, fuck all you motherfuckers. I can't stand none of you niggas. Your mama, you just a bitch. How you gonna tell your own daughter to sit there and be abused by these clowns? And you think I'm just supposed to sit here and take it? Just because you took it when you was growing up doesn't mean that I have to. I'm not accepting this shit anymore. You fuck with me, we gonna have a problem. It might even involve the police if you go to take it to that point. I don't want to be. I know this person. That's what I'm saying. Glass eyes. I'm saying that she needs help with her boundaries and stuff first. But it doesn't matter. Even if she moved out, she would just still have this kind of people in her life. She has to find her voice. Working in corporate America, dating. I mean, in any situation, neighbors trying to take advantage, they use your parking spot and all this kind of stuff. I mean, there's always a situation where you need to be able to speak up for yourself and not let people infringe on your rights and and maintain your boundaries. It's across the board life throughout life. So it's whether she learns to cuss now or cuss later, it's going to be a skill. That kind of response is the kind of thing that she is going to have to learn. And all the rest of you too feel like you too soft. You cannot go through life like that. Not in this day and age. You could probably do that in the 16, 1700s where people actually had some sense, but they don't have any sense anymore. Sense has gone the way of the dodo bird. It's extinct. So you as a woman, you have to be able to, rock people's world and not really give too much care about how they feel about it or what they think or anything else. You worry about yourself. And in a situation like this, she's very young, and so she's only 23, and she's a baby. So you, young lady, are going to have to seek out some kind of therapy. I would suggest, calling around to see if you can find a group because then being there with other women, and then you can practice. You guys can practice with each other, and then you have a group leader, and it's very way less expensive as well. And I know they used to have groups like that in Oakland off of Piedmont Avenue over there. They had some counselors and they would have groups, but these are pre-COVID days. Who knows what's going on at this point? But that's what I would suggest. Start calling some therapist office and let them know what you're looking for and see if anybody can make a recommendation for you. And then investigate that. And do not tell anybody in your family what you're doing. Don't tell them. Just let it be a surprise. It is extinct shit. Nobody had no damn sense anymore. These people are all crazy. I just marvel at the cray. All right, let's see. Yeah, so you do that, okay? It's gonna take a while though. Don't think it's gonna be an instant thing. But the sooner you start on that path, the sooner you'll build up that strength and you'll be able to start speaking up for yourself and people will pay attention because you will say it in a way that's so forceful and with purpose and stuff like, saying, oh, stop is not saying, stop it. You see what I'm saying? That's what stop it with, like, motherfucker, stop it. You silly bitch, stop it. Ho, stop, stuff like that. Okay, question number 9. Let's move on to that. Female 22 to 27. She just says California. Okay. Hello, Deb. I'm having an issue with my mother and her big mouth. I have an issue with her whenever she meets a friend or romantic interest or overhears me talking to them on the phone. She always talks too much and discusses info I'd rather not be known. I have learned to keep zip now that I'm older, but that doesn't stop her from telling my business about things from childhood that she inevitably knows about. The last man I was seeing, I got into it with and was so embarrassed because she told him about how I was adopted, but my birth mother's lifestyle and the reasons I was adopted. I hate she told him that because that is something I'd rather disclose in my own time. Also, when we broke up our last argument, I found out she also told him I would not make a good mother because I'm not all there sometimes. This enrages me because I am highly intelligent and I would be an excellent mother. She also is bringing up old stuff from my childhood that makes me look and feel bad. I'm tired of telling my business to people. The last man judged me and threw it in my face every chance she got about my real mother and her situation. Wow. I do my absolute best to not end up like my natural mother. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, and I stay careful. I don't run the streets. Most people actually see me as square and say I act like a white girl. I'm at my wit's end, Deb. I cannot take it anymore. Every time I tell her I don't like it, she just brushes it off like, oh, girl, please. I am thinking about not introducing any more friends or men to her because it's really annoying. What would you do? What I would do, I would move away and I would cut contact. This is the most toxic bitch that I have ever seen in my life. She's absolutely jealous of you. I don't know what you look like. I don't know what the story is there. Why she's so in such a mode where she wants to break you down. She wants to humiliate you, embarrass you. She doesn't really like you very much. No mother who cared about their daughter would always go out of their way to throw out things that would humiliate, embarrass her, or make her look bad to other people. She's going out of her way to do that. I want you to understand what's going on here. There's something about you. I don't know what y'all's history is. The only piece about your life that I know is what you wrote to me here today. But I'm telling you, her behavior towards you indicates total dislike and jealousy. So, in a situation like that, you have a toxic individual that you call your mom. You're an adult now. How old did you say you were? You're 22 to 27 age group. Okay, that's still young, but you need to start making plans, taking steps to get away from her. I would move to another part of the state, move to another part of the country to get away from her. And then that way, you don't have to be worried about what she's going to tell people because she won't be seeing you or knowing them. And, at some point, though, you say you asked her to stop doing it, but that's not strong enough with her, oh, girl, please. You're going to have to sit her down and say, look, it's obvious that you either A, don't like me, or B, are jealous. Which one isn't? Because you acting like just like a jealous bitch, like some woman who's after your man or something. And so you got to paint her in an evil light so that the guy will like you and not her. That's the way you acted towards me, mama. And I don't like it. And you know, so what's going to happen when I leave here? I'm going to cut ties with you because you are so toxic. It's not even funny. You try to do everything you can to humiliate, embarrass me, and put me down in front of people that trying to love me. You don't want nobody to love me, just like nobody loves you. And it's very unfortunate. Well, the person who needs therapy is the mother. The mother needs something. Something is wrong with her. But there's a video I did on this channel about toxic mothers. You might want to take a look at that because she all up in that video. She's all up in there. Um, you know, yeah, I know this is hard to accept, and you probably will shed a few tears about it. But this is the reality that you're facing. Nobody who loves and cares about you would ever treat you this way. Sorry, it's just the way it is. That's really sad. All right, question number 10. Let's move on to that. Female 28 to 34 age group. It says California, no specific city. Hey, Auntie Deb, I'm trying to figure out whether I should go to therapy or not for this issue, or whether it's not as serious as I think. I was talking to a friend who brought it to my attention that I am cold and heartless, particularly towards men, and that's a sign that I have issues. I'm not going to say nothing. She is not necessarily wrong about me being cold to me, and I actually feel that part is true. I find myself rejoicing when something bad happens to them. Whenever I hear about them getting played, I find myself silently cheering on the woman that played them. I have zero sympathy for any of their problems, even if they are legit. I also do not treat them with any kindness. I ignore them when they walk by. I disregard their input and opinions. I invalidate every experience they have by telling them, I don't know what you're talking about, in a coy manner. Recently, when I found out one of my exes died, I wasn't even sad. I was kind of glad almost. Me and one of my friends were actually joking about it on FaceTime. You must be my twin. Deb, do you think there's something wrong with me? Do I need therapy? I'm usually the sweetest, most loving and caring person. I don't know what to think. I'm not gonna say shit because let me just tell you, you wrote to the person who tried to run her ex over with her car. Did you really do that, thinking that you would get any kind of opinion that would be different from yours from me? Did you really think that? You were confused. You should have wrote to Dear Abby if you wanted some other opinion. I am the person whose boyfriend called her up, an ex-boyfriend, called her up. And when I was, talking to him, I was like, first of all, how did you get my number? Turns out my brother had given it to him. So I'm like, oh. And he's like, well, how you doing? I'm like, I'm so confused right now. And he's like, what are you talking about? Nigga, I thought you had died. And he's like, what? Why did you think I died? I said, I don't know, but I was happy as hell when I heard it. And he was so upset. And this is a true story. I really told him that, and I really was happy that that motherfucker had died. Well, so I thought. And then I was very upset when it turned out that that was just a mere rumor that had no bearing in fact. So, young lady, you asking me? I'm in that same camp with you. He say start playing cold blooded. It says cold blooded. Yeah, I remember that song kind of. That's the only line I remember though. But girl, I I mean, okay, you ignored me, and when you walk by, what are you supposed to do? Like bow down to them and kiss their ass or something? I mean, they're complete strangers on the street. The fact that they feel entitled to women's time, that's one of the things I complain about. They feel like, they're entitled to a hello and a smile and all this kind of shit. Fuck off. You don't do that shit to me, and so you don't need to do it to me either. You disregard the input and pinch unless you ask for it. You should disregard it, the same as anyone else. Just because they have a dick, that doesn't mean that their input and opinions are like written in stone or gold plated or anything. Okay, unlike what they like to think, and like stupid women like to think too. Just because a man said it, somehow it has more validity or more facts or something behind it. It's like even like on this channel, like the same shit I've been saying for 30 years, right? Now you got these dudes, they barely 35 years old. So they was kids when I was already on this, you know, on this track. They will go on my blogs and stuff, they would listen to my videos and they will repackage it almost word for word what I say. This has come to my attention many times. Why is it that when they do say the exact same thing that I already said, the women will flock to those channels by the hundreds of thousands, give them all kinds of money and support and stuff. But when I say it, they ignore it. I said it first. I said it more often. It's the same thing. They took my shit and repackaged it with their name on it. But suddenly now it's like magically true because it came from a man. I've experienced that for the last 25 years. And that's the way it is with many, 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 many Black women. It's very sad. So in your situation, um, just tell your friend to stop being a pygmisha and to get on your team and stop giving men all that credit and applause and stuff. It's just ridiculous. Well, thank you, Onyx. Yeah, that's you're right, Gia. That's what I feel like too. It's because a man said it, suddenly it's like the gospel truth. It's written on the tablet at the hands of Moses or something. And I'm like, but I can show you an article that I said this in 1997. Why is it you acting like it's brand new? It's been on my blog for 20 years. And it's just really interesting. So that's what I've been dealing with my whole career. So yeah, you just continue just, doing your thing. Don't worry about them. And you don't have to like throw a party and do the cabbage patch and stuff when something bad happens to them. But should you be derailed by it and all broken up and stuff? Absolutely not. They're men. They're supposed to be able to handle that. They're tough, remember? They're leaders. They're like, the top dog, so they say. So they should be able to take a little pain and a little disappointment. Shit. They're tough. Question number 11, male 22 to 27 from Portsmouth, Hampshire, UK. I'm writing to see what your take is on how differently could I have handled this situation. So I was at a club and I was dancing with some mates. A girl comes up to our group and starts grinding on me. Oh, obviously I'm not complaining, but 2 seconds later, this dude comes up and takes her away from me and starts dancing with her. She slips away from him and comes back to me. Hmm. He takes her again, they dance a bit, and she comes back to me. This happens like 5 times until they both leave together, and I was just so confused. I told my friend, and he said I should have stood my ground, but he could have been her boyfriend or something. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, this doesn't sound good. Let me tell you, if this ever happens to you again, yeah, and any guys listening to this, you're with your mates, right? This is one guy, and there's a group of you. You guys surround the girl and ask her, is she okay? Does she need help? Is this guy bothering her? She could have been doing that because she was trying to get away from him and get some protection, and you so goofy you didn't even pick up on it. You was there with a group of dudes. You guys could have stepped up and you could have got the bouncer. You probably could have got the bartender to call police. There's all kinds of things that you could have done besides sit there and act all brand new. That's not normal behavior. Now she could have said, like you said, she could have said, "Oh yeah, we're just, I'm just mad at him right now," or something like that. In which case you would be okay to respond the way that you did. But there's this question in my mind. Why did that happen? That just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right. So, like in the future, please ask, okay? Just, block so the guy can't get to her. You guys surround her and say, are you okay? Is he bothering you? Do you need help? And if she says yes, then one of you jet immediately to 911 or whatever it is in the UK. And then the other one get the attention of the bartender that, security is needed. That's how you guys do work as a group, okay? But people, these dudes are just so fucking clueless. They just, and the parents don't really tell, if you have parents that don't have any street smarts themselves, they're not going to be able to put their kids up on game like this because they're fucking clueless themselves. That's what's really bad. If you got parents that don't know nothing, you need to find some friends' parents or an uncle or somebody who's been around the world in the service or something that knows some shit and, get some lessons on life on how to handle yourself in various situations from them because this doesn't sound right. This isn't sitting well with me. Something is amiss. Question number 12, female, 35 to 41 from Swansea, Wales. I just wonder whether most women are like me and cannot ignore, and in my case, afford to go into a LTR. It's like long-term relationship where a partner contributes very little. I actually wouldn't have minded if I was well off myself, but my situation is I own a small house outright. I live in an inexpensive but okay area but my income is sporadic and often low due to being self-employed. I'm looking for a long-term relationship as I'm struggling a bit being single for so long and having no emotional and practical support from a partner. But I'm also quite fussy as to what I like. Theoretically, I like a situation where partner or husband lives in my house and I earn well and where we pool resources, and I think she means pool resources and buy a bigger house. I would not normally consider anything else. I just can't afford a better lifestyle of my own. And part of the pull of having a long term relationship is I don't have to rely on just myself. I support my parent too. Well, lo and behold, I've made friends with a man quite a bit older than me, but he's retired early and doesn't own a house. He lives with family in a council house. Isn't that like welfare, Section 8, but it's in the UK? He is divorced for sure. I'd normally not date someone like that, though the age gap alone is not an issue. But he is genuinely very nice. We have a great connection. He seriously likes me, is in love by the looks of it. It sort of just happened that we became friends, but he wants more and I feel drawn to him. We haven't officially dated or kissed as I don't want to be impulsive. He says he is a very loving man and would be very supportive emotionally, and I can see that. But I've never gone for this in the past. It's just after being single for a long time, it's hard to resist that warm, caring attitude he's showing. I'm being a bit bitchy for telling him I sort of expect contribution. Sounds real silly, but maybe most people normally go for the feelings and ignore the rest. I think I could just stay friends with him, but he wants more, so it probably won't work. And also, I have started missing him when we don't meet for a while, so I'm not immune emotionally. You don't know what the fuck you want. Okay, look, either you want somebody who's going to upgrade your lifestyle and you want to level up, man, or you're going to have somebody who's broker than you. He don't even have a house. He live in a council house with other people. So him coming to your house doesn't come up for him. No, nix him. I don't care that this is like Dusty. That's just like Dusty men over here. They don't have shit to offer except for some dick. So you got somebody who don't have nothing to offer except for some emotional support. Get a fucking dog you want emotional support. It's cheaper. Pay a couple of vet bills, you'll be all right. You don't have to be bothered with them. I'm just saying, she's got herself together enough that she owns a house. Okay? She owns a house. Council houses in the UK, it's like government sponsored housing is the best I can understand it. But maybe somebody that lives there can explain it better. But from what it sounds like to me, it's like they have some kind of like housing council, and it's like for low income people, so you can get a house. So in my mind, it's equivalent to what we have here, like the projects or Section 8 kind of things, kind of housing. And my thing is this dude. I mean, he don't have nothing to offer, so of course he's gonna be offering you emotional support because I have no money. So you just pass him by, let him go, keep moving in the upward direction that you're trying to go. You already light years ahead of him because you got a house, and he's older than you, and he don't even have what you got. Girl, what you thinking? You tripping? This is the kind of shit you gonna mess around, and next thing you know, you're gonna be in love and pregnant by some dusty bum, and he gonna be sitting up in your house, not working, and you're gonna have another person to support. You better leave this broke fool alone. Question number 13, female 18 to 21 from Miami. I'm 21 and my boyfriend is 22. He wants to get a house and stuff, but they can't do it with me because I'm a quote distraction and they are never going to get anything done. I hate this new way people want to, be like gender non-specific, and so they say they about everything. I don't know who the fuck you talking about. Be fucking specific when you write to me. It just drives me crazy. I know Candace changes it sometimes because she knows I hate it, but I guess she missed this one. I don't like that they and these and all, he and she, okay? You talking about a man that you date and that's a he. My fucking God. It drives me nuts. Everybody trying to be so fucking politically correct. Ain't nobody here trans. You dating a man, okay? So that's a dude. Call him a he. The proper pronouns. So I know what the fuck you talking about. Sitting on the air reading this shit, and it's they. Who's the they? You who are you talking about? Make me feel like an owl. Okay, so let me see. He wants to get a house and stuff, but he says he can't do it with me because I'm a distraction, and he is never gonna get anything done. I don't understand why we can't do those things together. grow together and make those things happen. We have been together for 11 months. He is a construction worker and I work in a grocery shop. Okay, so he says he's not going to be able to get it with you. That means that you're not making enough money for him. And so he wants somebody who is going to be bringing in the cash so he can make his dreams come true on her dime. And so you cut him loose and move on and find somebody else. That's what you need to do. Anytime a man starts complaining that you're not good enough for him, that's the time that you need to leave him alone. You do not ever, ladies, if you don't hear nothing else I say, by the time he starts saying that, anything that about you is holding him back is not good enough. He makes, yeah, he wants to do that 50-50 shit all the time and stuff like that. That means that's a man who has no interest in you as his woman. He has no sense of protectiveness, no sense of providing, nothing. He's looking for a come up off of you. And if you're not there, giving him to help him build, then he has no use for you. That is a man who's not into you at all. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. You don't do that. Don't ever do that. And the first time a man compares you to somebody else or says anything negative about what he can't do, be, say, or anything, any kind of thing that he implies that you're limiting him or holding him back, unless you change to give him what he wants, you deuce out. You obviously want some other bitch. I'm out. And then you just leave him alone. Yeah, you don't never help a man. Never help a man. Never help a man. That's the key word is he's supposed to be a man. He's supposed to be doing it himself. As a matter of fact, let me find what we're getting ready to do here. Oh yeah, this on Sunday. Like never help a man, right? This is the show I want to talk about. I'm a drag dude. I have an article on my surviving dating blog called He Emotional He Bitch, and it talks about these kind of men. But we're gonna talk about it because it's even worse now. Because I wrote that article, I don't know, in the early 2000s, late 90s, and now we 20 years down the road, and these men have done nothing but gotten worse. So we're gonna talk about this on Sunday. Please go on the page and set a reminder so you can be there and contribute your thoughts to it. Okay, I just had to do that little commercial break. But yeah, honey, you do that. You had 11 months. Don't make it 11 months in another day. Question 14, female, 22 to 27, from Fort Collins, Colorado. I need help figuring out what I should do about a man at work who makes me feel uncomfortable. Ooh. I recently started a new job. I'm 22 and I've been there for a few months. One of the friends I have made there is a guy who sits close to me in the office. He's 25. A while back, he asked me out, but I rejected him gently at the time and hoped that would be the end of it. He is still quite frequently flirty, though. He likes to mess with my chair at work to get a rise out of me, etc., but it hasn't been too much of a problem. Last week, we went out for drinks and a meal after work. I live in a country where this is within COVID restrictions, and we are all tested regularly. Oh, well, she put Fort Collins, Colorado. That must be a mistake. When we were in the bar after the meal, I began to feel uncomfortable as he kept trying to sit as close to me as possible, even though I kept shifting over, and at one point I noticed he was covering about half of my chair. What? He also kept initiating contact. For example, when we all left one bar, he put his hands on my waist to move me out the door, even though I was already leaving. Huh. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to talk to him about it. I know it sounds bad, but I'm a really non-confrontational person, and I don't want to hurt his feelings, especially as I've already rejected him once before. With that said, I'm also a bit nervous about having to go into the office and see him again. Now, am I overreacting? If not, should I say something to him? You should have said something right then. Okay, number one, all the young ladies listening to this, please hear me out right now. Stop fucking worrying about hurting men's feelings. They sure ain't worried about hurting yours. He's pawing all over you. It's so inappropriate. You guys work together. He should not be putting his hands on you in any way, shape, or form. You're not his woman. You're not his sister. You're not his mother. He should not be touching you. And that's what you need to tell him. It's like, that little thing that you did when you put your hands on me. Don't ever touch me again. I want you to stop touching my chair. I'm never going to go out with you stop flirting with me, leave me alone. What you're doing is called sexual harassment, sir, and I want you to stop it. You asked me out, which I already told you I don't want to do that. So anything else that you do to try to get my attention and try to work your way around to it is harassing me. I told you no, and that's what I meant. Okay? Professionalism, don't talk to me about anything except that stuff that has to do with work. Keep your hands to yourself. That's the rule. Now, if you don't do that, you talking about you non-confrontational. See, you kind of women like that have that attitude. You come across as weak, weak as hell. And men who are predatory types love women like you because they get to just violate boundaries right and left, and you never say shit because you're so non-confrontational. The only reason you're non-confrontational is because you stuck on that be nice shit. That's why you say, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings. Somebody trained you in childhood to be, quote, be nice. I do a lot of work on this channel to get women to not be nice. Don't ever be nice. You be nice to people that are nice to you, but just in GP, just to walk up and down the street or deal with some freaks at work and stuff, you don't be nice to them. You be a fucking savage. Okay? So what was supposed to happen is, okay, so you're at the bar. Okay, he's messing with your chair. You're supposed to stand up and say, stop fucking messing with my chair. Leave me alone. Right there in the office in front of everybody. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so now you didn't do that. Okay, so you didn't say nothing. So he's gonna keep doing it because you didn't say anything. So that must mean it's okay. So then you go to the bar, right? And he's just pressing up on you, pressing up on you, pressing up on you, pressing up on you. And he's covering half of your chair and you still didn't say anything. Okay, so then, he keeps initiating contact. And so, he's putting his hands on you. He's touching you on intimate body parts, your waist or whatever, even, no matter where, your back, whatever. Any part of you, he's not supposed to be touching you because you're your colleagues. It's unprofessional. But still, you didn't say anything. And then, he puts his hands on your waist, walking you through the door. And still, you didn't say anything. So, I'm saying you had all kind of opportunities to shut this shit down and you didn't take them. Like you worried about not hurting his fucking feelings while he's violating your body. You don't worry about his feelings. I'm telling you, you better start talking. Okay? You better start talking. And then if you tell him this is your warning. If you touch me again, you touch my chair, or you say anything to me that is inappropriate and unprofessional, we're going to HR. And then just put his ass on notice. You're only going to have to say this one time, but you want to say it with some strength. Practice at home in the mirror until you can say it with your face looking, stern. Yeah, but these dudes, they just, I don't know, they just don't act right. They want to go to work and start, putting the mash on women about their sex life and stuff, you know. Being mean is the new nice. Well, shit. I'm always mean to men. Always. They seem to respond better to that. You know why? Because I think they respect it more. When you just tell them fuck out of here and you stupid and you tripping and ain't nobody trying to hear all that and fuck off, stuff like that. They just, it just, I don't know. They listen more. But you women, you be putting talking, oh, I don't know, that little timid shit. Y'all be doing that little doubtful, oh, and acting all like that, like you five and shit. They don't respect that. That's why you be getting so much drama, so much pushback, because you're not standing up for yourself. You can't live your life like this, ladies. You cannot. So whoever taught you to be like this and under the guise of being nice, you need to walk up to them and kick them or slap them or something, because they have done you a huge disservice. Let's move on to question number 15. This is a female in the 42 to 49 age group from San Bernardino, California. My ex-brother-in-law is complaining about how I treat my nephew. He doesn't want me to treat his kids differently, though I have no family ties to his other children, just that one nephew. I'm 42 and I spoil my nephew Chris and spend a lot of time with him. Chris is my late sister's son and my only nephew or niece. My sister died when he was 5 after a heart attack and she had an undetected heart condition. Chris spends a lot of time at our house where my parents, his grandparents, my husband, 2 daughters, and 2 sons also live. Ooh, you got 4 kids? Chris has his own room in my house and has his own set of keys. He comes and goes as he pleases. Chris also has great bond with his cousins who all consider him their brother more than a cousin. As far as my husband and I go, he's also our son, is included in everything we do with and for our kids. He goes with us on all our vacations, and this year my husband and I bought him a car for his 16th birthday, just as we did our eldest son when he turned 16. My parents and I also plan on paying his way through college, the same as his cousins, since his ex-brother-in-law could never afford to. But here's the problem. Ex-brother-in-law wants me to include his other kids, 2 teenage stepsons, and his 2 boys and daughter with his new wife. So he got 5 kids, none of which are related to you. Okay, I just want to understand. Into our time with Chris. His other kids often get jealous of all the attention and money we spend on Chris, and his wife feels like I'm driving a wedge between the kids, especially as their oldest son, Tom, also wants a car. But again, ex-brother-in-law and his wife can't afford it. They want me to make Chris share his car with their son. What? I told him I would not persuade Chris to share because the car is his. Chris truly is a responsible kid. He helps around the house, he cooks and cleans, and he just started his first real job. He also watches out for his younger siblings. He's a respectful and polite child, not an entitled, spoiled brat. Oh, that's good. I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't like ex brother-in-law. I certainly don't like his new wife, and their kids are obnoxious, mean little shits. But I obviously never treat them in an unkind manner, and I don't allow Chris to speak to them or about them in a disrespectful way either. Even though I know they all constantly exclude Chris and purposely break the things we buy him and go out of their way to make him feel like an outsider. He knows how poor his mom and I grew up and that we aren't rich by any stretch of the imagination. And I never saw it as an us versus them situation. Chris will always need his dad, and that is something I don't take lightly. I never allow him to speak disrespectfully of his dad or his stepmom, and we obviously lead by example. However, I don't feel like it's my responsibility to consider the other kids ex-brother-in-law has, and at the moment, I don't know how to deal with the situation. Any advice to make Chris's life more comfortable, I'd love to hear. Thank you. Well, if y'all have some advice, but let me tell you what I think. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see how Chris is. Okay, you bought him a car for his 16th birthday. So I'm going to assume that he is still 16. Um, you're in California, so he can solicit he got a job now. He can solicit the court to become an emancipated minor at 16 in California. As an emancipated minor, he is removed from the custody and control of his parents. And then once that happens, you and your husband can adopt him. That's one way to do it. Or he can just come and live with you as an emancipated minor. Because once he does that, he doesn't have to stay with his parents or do any. They can't tell him anything. He doesn't have to live there. He can come and just move in with you guys and stay there. So if I were you, I would talk to an attorney and look into that and see, what I don't know what the standards are to make that happen, but yeah, I mean, my mom did foster care, and she had a couple of kids that they didn't want to be in foster care anymore, and they wanted to be emancipated minors, and so they did that. Well, his dad he's not dusty, but what it is he's getting heat from his wife and the other kids that he has, that they're jealous because Chris is getting all the stuff from his family, and they're not related to the Chris's mom's family. They're only related to the dad, and the dad is broke. And so Chris's this mom's sister is the one who's doing all of this stuff for Chris. And since they're not related, they don't get to benefit any of it. So what they're doing is breaking his stuff, so they don't want him to have it, since they can't have stuff too. So the best bet would be to get Chris up out of there. But the only way that you can do that, since he still has 2 years to go before he's 18, is for him to become emancipated. That's why I came up with that solution. Once he's emancipated, he can go anywhere he wants to, and they can't say nothing to stop him. But as long as he's, under their custody, under his dad's custody and control, his dad can still dictate, where he is. So that's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do. Because if that other boy used Chris's car, he would crash it because he would be jealous. He's jealous. He doesn't want Chris to have anything that he doesn't have. So yeah, this is messed up. But look into that. Look into that tomorrow. Question number 16, female, 22 to 27 from Brownsville, Texas. My boyfriend and I have been together since we were 17. We are now both 22. We've been together so long, go to school together, but over the years, he's taken a turn into using a lot of substances. Oh no. It started out when we were 18, 19, where he would just party a lot and drink and smoke herbalicious. I didn't really have a problem with that as he'd only drink on the weekends. And I'm not too against smoking, although I don't partake in any substances including alcohol. But as time went on, he started trying out stronger and different drugs. And again, it started out small, mostly party treats. I, of course, get so angry at him, but he assured me it was just during parties and he's being loyal despite all the substances and just wants to get high with his friends. I don't question his loyalty, but I do question his safety. Fast forward last week and I had enough and broke up with him. Right now, he does Coca-Cola, wow, regularly. I can never find him sober. He dropped most of his classes and probably won't graduate. His grades are terrible and he's essentially a vegetable half the time. The other half, he's erratic and just not who I love anymore. So I decided that despite loving him, I'm the only one in his life who isn't enabling him, and it's hard on me seeing someone I love go down this hole. Wow. All his friends are equally party animals have been upset at me, saying I'm leaving him during his worst condition when he needs the most support. His parents are also mad at me because they thought I was the only person who would take care of their son during this hard time. But instead, I just gave up and left. I don't understand. I want to support him as much as I can, but there's a point where he doesn't want to be helped. I feel guilty for leaving him after he's so coked up, but his actions affect my life and my time too. Why am I selfish for being the only person willing to give him consequences for his actions? He's been calling me nonstop and sending me "I miss you, come back" texts. But I want this to be a lesson for him. That his lifestyle is going to come with a price. Yet everyone right now is villainizing me. You know what? Block him. Better yet, get a new phone number and don't give it to any of those people. That's what I would suggest. Change your number tomorrow because what you did was so smart, so mature, so just such a boss move. It's like you refuse to be codependent. And I love it. I wish more women were young ladies at your age because you're so young to have that kind of strength. That's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. But this the only way that you're going to get out from these people trying to they want to bring you in to be they want to codependently put you in a position of being the caretaker for this wreck of a human being, and you say no, no, I'm not. So the only way you're going to get away from them is seriously is to change your number. Change it. You got to, because otherwise they're going to keep tripping with you like this, and you are on a path to doing great things. You want to graduate from college. You're trying to stay focused. All these people who are the friends, also you got to cut all these people loose, all of them. Okay, I know that's hard at your age, but don't let them intimidate and bully you into going back into that caretaking role for him. Do not do it. Take care of yourself. You're doing great. Okay, stay on this path. Question number 17, female, 22 to 27 from Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Deb, I'm 22 years old and serving in the U.S. Army. Before my last relationship, dating has been a roller coaster, as there are always plenty of men to choose from in this environment. But my last relationship lasted for 2 years after my boyfriend decided that he wasn't ready for a relationship. He was 23 at the time. It has caused me to change my perspective on dating and relationships and to take things much slower in the future. What is your advice for women in my age group in terms of dating and expectations inside of a relationship? I believe I was thinking too romantically in my past relationship with expectations that were just too high for my age. At 22, I'm going to just tell you flatly, and I know a lot of people don't believe, they don't want to hear this because, young girls just want to be like in a relationship. They just want to belong to somebody or something. I don't know. The best thing you could do for yourself is stay single. Stay single until you get out the army. You use your GI Bill to finish college. You use your GI Bill to get you a house. You do whatever you want to do for yourself. Then you worry about a relationship. Just date around. This one, that one, this one, that one. This one for a couple of weeks. That one for a week or two. This one over here. Or better yet, all of them at the same time. Don't get serious with any of them. Am I saying that you have to sleep with all of them? I did not say that. Spend time laughing, joking, having a good time. Okay, that's what you should be doing at 22. You should not be stressing about a relationship. I don't know why so many young girls get into this trap and then they want to have a baby and just all this stuff be happening. Y'all just ruin your lives, not to mention your bodies with all that stretch marks and sagginess and stuff from being stretched out having kids. Don't do it. Keep your figure and have your fun. Do what you want to do for yourself. Don't worry about men because they're going to still be there. Trust me. They're going to still be there looking and hungry and thirsty or whatever they are. They're never going nowhere. You worry about you. That's what you should be doing at 22. Okay? Don't even think about a relationship. And you think that's what, I mean, a lot of people want to know what to do about the relationship. I answer their questions, but your question was different. You asked me what is advice for women in your age group about dating relationship. That's my number one advice. Don't be in one. Just date around, casual, friendly, nothing serious, no commitments. Be able to stick and move. That's how Deb lived, dating 3 or 4 at the same time. Stick and move. This one, that one, this one, that one. Don't be trying to be stuck down with nobody. It's just too much. It's too much. And you see all these girls and just think of all the drama, the letters that come through here. All these young girls are stuck in these sick ass relationships with these crazy ass young men. They don't have any sense. They're in their 20s. They're stupid. Okay. And then you up there trying to be all serious with them and stuff with a stupid man. Now, please explain that to me. That way, how much sense does that make? They're not immature enough to be in a relationship. So are your expectations about all this commitment and fidelity and all this kind of loyalty and all this stuff unfounded, unreasonable? Don't even waste your time. Focus on yourself. Question number 18. Female 28 to 34 from Nigeria. Oh, hey, Auntie Deb. I'm a big fan. I've been watching you for over 3 years. I trust your judgment, hence my decision to write to you. I apologize for this being a bit lengthy. Oh, but I decided to give you the backstory that led to the most recent thing happening. Since 2020, the lockdown meant that my dad had to work from my home. I started to get suspicious because he'd always go out for work meetings and to clear his head on days when my mother wasn't at home. When I asked him why he was going out on those days specifically, he said the staff were allowed to pick which days they'd come into the office, and he picked those 2 days. He used to leave notes telling my brother and I where he was if they left home together, but I noticed that as he started going out on his own, he stopped leaving these notes. For me, who's currently the only one at home with him and my mom. He normally leaves home when I'm asleep, so I wake up and find I'm home alone. When I call him, his phone rings or is switched off. Really now? Last night at 11 o'clock, I heard him on the phone and came out of my room. I heard him talking at night before, and when he's talking to colleagues, I can hear him discussing work, although he speaks quietly because it's late. Oh. From my room and from what I heard when I came out, the voice I heard was definitely a woman, speaking very softly. My dad was talking quietly too and responding to her, but he was so quiet I couldn't really hear what he was saying. I'm in such shock writing this, but I'm pretty certain I heard him say, I wish I was in that bed with you now. Oh God, oh God. Oh, that's pretty specific. I was so shocked that I almost don't believe whether I really heard this or not. I have more to say that would give you more of an idea of what's happening, but the word limits what I can type. Thank God, girl, because you was just going on and on. Please, Auntie Deb, what do you make of this? I'm so shocked right now, and my world has been rocked. I spent today unable to focus on doing any work. I've come to see how sadly men really can't be trusted, but I'm afraid to. And then I guess it cut her off because she reached the word limit. So you are in the 28 to 34 age group. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. probably don't want to hear this. And I know the culture is different because you're still living with your parents. And a lot of people, in certain other cultures, they stay living with their parents well into, until they get married pretty much. They be from their parents' home to their marital home with their husband or wife. Um, this is not your business. It's not your business. You had no business tipping around, eavesdropping on your father's conversation. That was inappropriate. What goes on in the marriage between two people, that's their business, not yours. Okay? Especially when it's your parents. The reason why I say this is um, you getting all worked up about it, you have no idea what what your mother already knows. And see, the woman's been married to this man for 20, 30 years. She knows what she knows. Okay, she already knows. You running to tell her is going to put her in a very awkward position because right now she could either know and be okay with it and not really give a shit, or she could know and be trying to figure out what she's going to do about it, or she could know and be trying to pretend that she doesn't know because she doesn't know what to do about it. Either way, you putting this at her feet like a tattletale is going to fuck her up. That's why I'm telling you to be quiet. You don't say nothing. It's not your business. You let your mother handle her marriage with her husband. She's a grown ass woman. She's older than you. She does not need your interference and your busybodiness into her marriage. In the future, with your 28 to 34-year-old self, if you hear your father on the phone, stay your ass in your bed. What he's talking about and who he's talking to is none of your concern. I'm just not understanding all this nosiness. you know, there are this person's put it in two places, and there are really well, usually people if they do that because no, this no some she says I'm a big fan. I've been watching you for over 3 years. Okay, so maybe she put it in two places. That's the only thing I can think of. But that's what I'm gonna say. It's not your concern. It's not your concern. Leave it alone. Just act like you didn't hear nothing. Your mother handled it. Don't be. Yeah, she might be. Yeah, he might get a pot of hot grits. He might get stabbed. He might get tossed out on his ass. And then again, they may have discussed it, and she may just be okay with it. We don't know. That's why you don't get into married people's business. Oh, she said she was sure her mama was well aware. Well, I see. That's what I see. That's what I'm saying, Lee. Because sometimes, the woman does know, and she doesn't care because she's tired of his, demands, shall we say, to be politically correct. She don't want to be bothered with him no more. She had her kids. She, been doing this with the same person for 30 years. She tired of looking at his ass. It's like let him go over there and get somebody else and bother somebody else, and she's all right with that. Some jollof rice. I don't know about that. Be kind of a waste of food. Some fufu. Y'all wrong for that. Wow. Question number 19. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Philly. I went out with a guy on Friday and we had a really good time. The conversation was good, and then we went dancing and stayed until the bar closed. He ended up staying the night. Okay, wait. So you went out with him, you danced, and then he spent the night, the same date. Okay. He kept saying how he hasn't had this much fun in a while and talking about a second date. He kept saying next time when we hang. And then also, as he was leaving, asked to hang again. He texted me the next day and asked how I was feeling and thanked me for showing him around. He then said he would let me know if he's ever back in the area. Now that threw me for a loop. I thought there would be a definite second date. He sent me a few more messages, and then I haven't heard from him today at all. What happened? You got played. That's what happened. That motherfucker with you back in the area. He live on the other side of town. Oh my God. And he came to your house. Now he knows where you live. Um, let's talk about your dating habits here, young lady. You know, you go out with a person and you have fun and all that stuff, and then you stay, you know, you do that, and then you don't stay till the bar closes. You know what that projects? Thirstiness and desperation, which obviously you were because you let him spend the night on the first day. That's not how you do yourself. And you know, even if he was interested in a second date, at first, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of guys are real old fashioned that way, and they feel like if you would sleep with them on the first date, you would do that with anybody on the first date, and that you are a hoe. That's what they think. Is that true? It doesn't make that true. But you know, the way that you handle this, it would give the impression that this is like okay, this is a behavior pattern that you don't have any problem with. And for a man who wants to be a serious relationship with a woman, he's not going to want somebody who's that loose and easy. He's want somebody who's going to at least make him jump through a hoop or two or something to prove himself a little bit. You didn't have to do shit. You gave up the draws and was just all excited about a second date. You're going to do everything just to get a second date. So you need to reevaluate how you date, put a little bit more value on yourself and how you conduct yourself with strange men. Do not be bringing strange men up in your house like that, going to sleep where anything could happen. I had a girlfriend who got robbed like that. The guy drugged her. She met him at a bar, same thing. Took him to her house, they had a good time. She passed out, woke up the next day, house stripped, even the toaster was gone. Everything. Microwave, TVs, all her jewelry. And she had some nice stuff. Her leather, everything gone. And she was she was drugged, so she didn't even hear the noise. They took everything. So anything that was worth something to sell, she had some nice black art. They took that off the wall. They took everything. So they made a haul. Probably good. She had at least $25,000, $30,000 worth of stuff that he could have got from all that stuff that she had. So this is not a good idea. Not only that, you let some strange dude up in your house like that, and you passed out. All you got to do is call, Joey Rollo and Sam and them, and then suddenly, here's all these dudes, and you're out cold, and they doing whatever they want to do to you, and you don't know no different because you let them in the house voluntarily, willingly, and didn't think about your own safety at all. So you did a whole bunch of dumb things on this night here, the least of which is that you won't see this guy again. I want you to understand the risks that you took because you wanted a second date. You need to get your shit together, young lady. This is so, so inappropriate and so dangerous. I mean, I'm all for women getting they swerve on, don't get me wrong. But you do something, y'all go to a hotel, you do it, oh my God, look at the time, and you get your ass in an Uber and your cab or whatever, and you take your ass to your house, and that's where you sleep. You got to do this stuff, in a way that makes sense. And what you did does not make any sense. Let's move on to question number 20, female 22 to 27 from Alexandria, Virginia. I'm going through a bad breakup, and my friend offered me to stay in her guest room / office. That was in January. I stayed for 2 months and then went back to my ex to work things out. I returned to my friend's place in September. Okay, January, so February, March, then back. So April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay. She got a new job and was able to work from home starting in October. And she did state that she needed her office back at some point. Things haven't been going well with her, and she expressed her frustrations to me and about me overstaying. I really felt we were on the same page. I was shocked and sad to hear this. I told her I'm paying to stay here. Please don't think I'm taking advantage. She was like, well, I'm only charging $400, and that's not what I would actually charge for this room. I did that to help you out, and it's been almost a year, and you've made no plan for yourself. She also said that people only make changes in their lives when their back is up against the wall, and she doesn't think I'm trying to take advantage of her, but that is what's happening, and that I'm too comfortable. I was always generous and always said thank you. I can't believe she even thought that. What should I do? You should get your ass out. That's what you should do. Not only did you Okay, so when you was with the boy, back with the boyfriend was for 6 months. That's when you should have been saving money and getting your stuff together so that you could move, get your own place, right? But you didn't do that. So you go back to her house in September, and now, she's like, you had all this time to get your act together because you knew the shit was fucked. So why did you not do that? And now you trying to put me out. I need my office back because I work from home and that's my workspace, right? So what you need to do is go and find like some, rooming house or get a rental room somewhere else in somebody else's house or apartment or something and move over there. That's what you need to do. Because, $400 for a whole room, that ain't shit. Because, you lights and everything that you burning, running up the water, all the stuff. I know you ain't buying the toiletries and stuff like that. So, you are taking advantage. Get out of that girl's house. Tell her you'll be out by the end of the year. Give yourself 2 weeks to get out. Yeah, I mean, people don't, but see, the part of it is the friend too should have said, okay, you can stay here until blah, blah day. I need you to, work a plan to get out because I have this job now. I need my office space. I need to, for my work now. This is serious. So I can support you, help you out for a little while here, but you got till, I don't know, 3 months. So that would be like September, October, November, December, 3 months. And say, okay, but I need you out by December 31st. And then she would have said, okay. And that's what she should have been, that would have been the plan. But the friend didn't really say that, but you would think that the girl would have enough sense to know that, but evidently she didn't. Question 21 of 25. We're all winding down here. This is a young lady in the 42 to 49 age group from Columbus, Georgia. My fiance, he is 49, has been asking me what I would like for my birthday. I said I'd think about it and let him know. He asked again today, and I told him a gift card to get my hair done at the salon I have been going to for 18 years. I'm getting a cut and color. But here's why I'm pissed. He called his sister, who does hair, and made me an appointment at her salon because it would be cheaper. I don't even know this woman, and I'm fearful to go to someone new. Thoughts on how to handle this? Oh, you say to him, okay, wait, you've been your fiance. Okay, so you all got a relationship. You say, look. I've been going to the same hairdresser for 18 years. You asked me what I wanted and I told you, but you're going to give me what you want. You want to send me where you want me to go instead of where I want to go, and it's my hair. I'm not going to your sister. I'm going to go to my salon, and you're going to pay for it. It's going to cost this much. Give me the money. That's what you do. So, because it's cheaper, he's trying to like bargain basement you, and then your hair is going to be all fucked up. No, you don't. No. Just tell him that's not going to happen. He's going to give you the money to get your hair done like he promised. And then you don't accept no. And then if he doesn't want to, well, see, I'm the kind I'm just like, that would piss me off. He would have got cussed out. Just like, but you want to go get your hair done at, what's that, Supercuts now? As versus the barber that you've been going to for 15 years? And I can get you a gift card to Supercuts. You want that? That's what you're trying to do. Oh, you calling my sister Supercut. She may as well be because she ain't doing my hair. Yeah. That George Jefferson hair is even worse. It's even worser. But no, people are very particular about their hair. You don't do that, dude. But I don't know. He just go get your hair done where you want to and then bring the receipt and tell him to give you your money. That's what I would do. Get my hair looking all kinds of fucked up. Question number 22, female, 28 to 34 from Carmel, Indiana. My boyfriend of about 18 months and I ended 2 days ago. He's 34 and I'm 31. This wasn't actually our first breakup. We ended before and I ended up contacting him back first and then we started dating again. However, due to certain reasons, one of them being that he went on a dating app and asked another girl to hang out. They never met up, but when I asked him about it, he lied, saying that he's not on the app. When I went back to check, his profile was gone. He till this day denies it. But when we ended 2 days ago, he said the most hurtful things like I'm the biggest regret of his life. How I only added stress in his life. Wow. Now there's not one single thing he's thankful for in regards to me, etc. These words pierced my heart, and I told him this hurt so much. I ended up blocking him on social media and this one chatting app, which was our main form of communication. He knows that I never blocked, but I did do this. It means I'm really hurt and done. It wasn't easy to block, but I did. I didn't block him on my messages or phone calls on my iPhone, though. I didn't expect him to contact me either. However, he messaged me today at 5 a.m. saying how he's sorry for the things he said and he takes everything he says back. I didn't message him, nor do I plan on doing so. But how can he say these hurtful things and then say he takes it back? Does he mean he still wants to be with me? No, he doesn't. He just doesn't want you to think that he's a dog. But you already know he is. Nobody says things like that they don't mean. People always say I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said it. See, the thing is, the thing about words that people just kind of like to ignore, you have to think the words before they come out of your mouth. You have to think them. So when you're thinking the words and then you say the words, that means that's how you really feel, right? Because words don't just pop out of your mouth from like created out of thin air and mist. You thought those thoughts and then those thoughts were materialized into words from your lips. So that's what happened. So, you guys have broken up before, you're in your 30s, and it's a stupid, toxic relationship. Let it go. You didn't block him on your phone saying you didn't think he was going to call you, but that's why you left him unblocked on your phone because you wanted him to call you. So now he called, and now you're thinking that it's going to be round 4 or 5 or whatever it is. Just end this circus. End this because it's stupid. You're just wasting years of your life. You're 31 now. You going to keep doing this till you're 35 or 40? And then nobody going to want you because you're going to be too old and used up? That's what you're headed for, okay? And then after going all this heartbreak over and 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 over, and over, you end up what we call a bitter woman. Cut this off now before it goes into the toilet any further. Question number 22. Yeah, she's wasting her time going around and around. So my thing is, if once you break up with them the first time, that's it. It's over. You shouldn't go back. That's what's the point. To me, that's like eating vomit, thinking it's going to turn back into a burger and fries. It was burger and fries when it went in the first time. It ain't gonna never be burger and fries again. Okay? And that's what it is to me when people keep going back and forth in relationships. You're eating vomit and you're hoping that it's gonna turn back into burgers and fries. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I hope that visual makes, kind of helps it sink in for you. It's wasting time. Wishful thinking. It's never gonna happen. Question number 23, female 35 to 41 for Burbank, California. So my husband, he's 40 and me 37, met back in high school when he was in the wrong crowd. He spent his early 20s being addicted to heroin and being violent. Oh, I did not have contact with him during that time, but when I was 29, we met again after he did a short stint in prison for possession. He got clean while he was locked up and took anger management. At 31, he and I started dating, and 2 years later, we got married. I know him as the calmest, kindest, and smartest person. He did not pursue higher education when he was younger, but he is very good at reading people and has recently started a bachelor's in psychology. That's the background. Now, our marriage has been really great. We've gotten a few big fights, but he always stayed calm and never really raised his voice at me until yesterday. We had a big fight, and for the first time ever, he lost his cool. This culminated in him raising his hand at me. But before I even knew what happened, I saw his face change. He looked broken and defeated. I can only describe his face as one of pure horror and shock. He quickly dropped his arm and left in a hurry. I have not heard from him since, besides a short text apologizing. I do not want to divorce. In my eyes, it was a minor slip up in a nearly perfect 6 year long relationship. I don't know where he is and he won't answer calls or texts, and I'm starting to get worried. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. How do I go about this? Any advice would be appreciated. Shit, I don't know. This isn't what is it that how do I go about this? You don't know what to do. What is it that you think you're supposed to do? He's the one who tried to hit you. He caught himself though. But right now he's probably trying to figure out how did that happen? How did he lose control at that point? He may be signing back up for anger management round 2. I don't know what he's doing. But no matter what it is he's doing, there's nothing for you to do. You're just going to have to wait. He didn't say anything about getting a divorce. So where did that even come from? He didn't actually hit you. He caught himself. And you knew he had anger management issues because otherwise he wouldn't have had to take an anger management class. So I don't really see why anything here is why you put advice you think that you're going to get from me. There's nothing for me to tell you. You're just going to have to wait for him to come back and see what he is going to say. And you make your decision then. I have a feeling though he's probably going to be signing himself back up for, like a refresher anger management course. That's what it sounds like he needs. But what are you guys fighting about too? What's all that about? Why are you fighting all the goddamn time? What what is that? Who fights that much? If you got somebody you need to fight with all the damn time, you don't need to be with them. That's my advice. You say, but you say your marriage is nearly perfect. So I mean, so this is a one-off, or you think he's gonna start doing this all over again? I don't know, but no matter what, everything would be conjecture at this point until he comes back and until you talk to him and figure out what where he was, and he tells you what he was been thinking and how he feels and all this kind of stuff. There's nothing for you to do. Just sit there and wait. Question number 24, male, 22 to 27, from Coventry, West Midlands in the UK. We are both 25. We live together and have since July. And because she weighed herself this morning for the first time in a very, very long time, we both learned that she's put on 75 pounds over the last 4 years. Damn, that's a lot. She was distraught. I was pretty amazed. But what caught me off guard was that she didn't take responsibility for it. Instead, it became a quote, "You should have stopped me. You shouldn't have let me binge fight." I told her that the most blame I'll take is that, yes, there was a time where I just, let's go grab something easy was to go to. But I didn't sit in my apartment and binge. That was all on her. She can't own up to that and thinking that maybe a shock of reality would help. I reminded her how when did she became walking to just walking or doing stairs. I reminded her that her clothes didn't fit either or very snug. I reminded her of the food bill she runs up on her own, a la $45 at Taco Bell. Who eats $45 worth of food at Taco Bell? By herself? I told her that if she wants to get in shape, that's her decision. If not, that's her decision too. But I won't have this pinned on me. She's now somehow concluded that I'm cold and unsupportive and that I can't admit my faults in the situation. How should we move forward from this? There's no moving forward from this until she admits that, okay, so you're going to have to, like, this sounds real remedial, but you're going to have to be like, okay, so we only been living together since July. You gained 90% of that weight before we lived together. So that means you was at your house choosing to stuff your face full of stuff. How do you feel that is, where's the logic in that you want to try to make that my fault? That's all on you. You took your fat ass to the store and bought that shit. You took your fat ass into the car and we drove around and got drive through. You took your fat ass into the house and you took your fat ass at the table and ate all that shit, $45 worth of Taco Bell. You did that. See, you're gonna try to blame me for it, and I'm gonna go there with you, and you're gonna be your fat ass. And if you find that disgusting and rude, oh well, you shouldn't have been trying to put that blame on me. I wasn't the one making you stuff your face with Dunkin' Donuts. You chose to do that. Fish and chips and all that other shit. She turned into a chalupa. But it's just like, because that for her, the only way she's putting all the blame on him. That's so then I'm no. So, me, I told you I do when whatever energy you give me, I'm gonna give it to you back. So then we would have to have the reality check. Since you're trying to live in Fantasyville where you ain't responsible for the food that you put in your mouth, and you trying to make it somebody else's fault. If you was tied down and something and force fed, bitch, no, you did that to yourself. So I don't want to hear it. Now let's talk about what we're gonna do to change things. I'll help you do that, but you're not gonna put the blame for what you ate and your lack of exercise on me. That was a choice you made. Oh, you know what I mean? We're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. So I know you probably won't want to talk to her like that because that's your girl and you all been together all this time and stuff like that. But see, I know me. I know me. and somebody came at me like that, they would get the savage treatment. And they would become every kind of fat ass that I could think about. And every time I said it, they would cringe. And then when I got through, I said, okay, well, now what we going to do? Yes, can you imagine by herself, $45 worth of food at Taco Bell? I can't even imagine buying that for a family of 4. And she's eating that by herself. I just don't understand that. I just, I can't, I'm I'm just gonna move on to the next letter. But dude, you got to refocus her until she takes responsibility for her choices and her behavior. There's nothing you can do, and she's just gonna gain more and more and more weight because she just it's like she just imagine it just came through the air and landed on her or something. I don't know what to tell you there. But once you admit that you want to change, if this is a mistake, you don't want to be like this, and you want to change, that's where you can step in and start helping her turn things around. But she hasn't reached acceptance yet, so there's nothing for you to do. I appreciate you writing and I appreciate your concern for her, but this is on her. Yes, the final question of the night. And before I do that, let's go over what we're gonna be doing. Okay, what do we have coming up? Uh the next show is Friday night. Friday night, we're gonna do our $8 advice question. I don't know, maybe short if people don't come with some questions and have want to do it, but this is how you would do it. You would make your donation uh, in on the Cash App or on Super Chat on YouTube, and then you're going to type your question in, or we can just let you say your question, audio, because we'll be posting the link in the chat stream. So either way, whichever way you're more comfortable for you. Ideally, you would say it out loud though, because you can say more than you can type in the little thing. I think it has a 200 and something character limit. So you might want to just figure out how to call in and ask your question, and we'll match up names with your Cash App donation. All right. And then on Sunday, we will be doing the show on the emotional babyish men. Where did the strong silent type of guy go? What happened? Those are all the superheroes right there. Strong, masculine, real men. Ha ha. Where did they go? And then reminding you on Christmas Eve, we're going to have a special relationship advice show. It's a different night of the week. But just before all the single people that don't really have any place to go and nothing to do on Christmas Eve, we're going to be doing an additional advice show on that night. And then finally, this is our theme for the 5th annual February, which starts February 1st of 2022. And that's our theme for the entire month, Winning at Life. That's Video a Day February. This will be our 5th annual event. So hopefully you guys can, come on through. All right. So now for our final question for What the Fuck Wednesday. This is a female in the 42 to 49 age group. This says no location provided. I'm going to make that field mandatory. I'll admit I might be doing too much, but bear with me, Miss Deb. My partner and I have been together for 7.5 years. It didn't start out very good, but we worked out the issues over time and have been in a great spot for years. He's in the 57 to 65 age group. I know the age difference is a problem for the bedroom activity arena. We talked about the challenges of aging and agreed on a little assistance with the magic blue pill. But lately, I have been feeling like he's getting help for more than just the pill. I caught him watching popcorn on his iPad while in bed the other morning. He doesn't know I saw it because he thought I was asleep. He spent about 10 minutes on there and then turned it off and rolled over to wake me up with a surprise. I can't help but feel weird about it. It's not that I have a problem with basic popcorn, nothing too kinky, but I don't feel good about him hiding it from me. He has always denied watching popcorn, but obviously he does. And now it's playing on my mind. Things like, why is he lying about it? Is he not attracted to me? Hmm. Does he secretly want something kinkier but is not talking to me about it? Hmm. I feel like I should talk to him about this since the bulk of our issues in our early years was about him lying and not being transparent. I feel like whatever he's doing something secretly, then he is falling back into old habits. Am I doing too much? Should I just leave it alone? Is there a kind of gentle way I can bring it out without it hurting, turning into a huge problem? Help me before my imagination and paranoia take over. Okay, I'm not understanding what the big deal is. He's an old motherfucker and he needs a little excitement to get a lift up. It don't have nothing to do with you. You just tripping about nothing. Don't you understand that a man that's in the 60s is going to have some issues in that direction, especially if he hasn't taken care of himself and eaten well? The best thing you could do for him is put his ass on a vegan diet. No more meat for you, sir. No eggs, none, no butter, none of that. No cheese. That stuff clogs their arteries and that makes, those little fine veins in the nether regions clog up and then they can't get lift up. That's the problem. Now, him watching it to get himself a little boost so he can give you a good time and you feeling all threatened about it, and you say he's not telling you. Did you ask him before or do you use popcorn? I'm looking here to see that, you talked about the challenges with age, but I'm not seeing here where you ever asked him, do you watch it? And he said no. Okay, that would be lying, but I mean, not to say that didn't happen, but it's not in this letter. So I can't charge him with a crime because you're not saying that you ever asked him. You just want to ask him now. But I'm like, I don't understand why you thought we thought you was asleep. Why you feel like he's hiding it from you. What you want to do, wake you up and say, look at my iPad. I'm watching popcorn. Is that what you really thought was gonna happen? You're being very unrealistic and you tripping about nothing. Okay. The man is old. The man is Keith. 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 The man is old. Yep. No meat for you, sir. None. No eggs. No butter. No dairy products. None of that. Because it's gonna make stuff not work. You're gonna eat a lot high fiber diet. Your ass is gonna have oatmeal for breakfast every day, and not that instant shit. You're gonna have that whole grain kind. It's a big fat flakes. Bob's red meal. That's what you're gonna have. Okay. Clean them arteries out. That's what you need, sir. You're going to give his ass some fruit, oatmeal, collard greens, yams, stuff like that. That's what he needs to be eating. Yep, no buttered popcorn, none of that. So, but I want you to calm down because you tripping about nothing. The man is old, okay? He needs a little help. He's trying to keep you satisfied. Let him do his thing. This how he gets there is not the issue. It's that he does it. That's his point. He don't want to leave his woman unsatisfied. He's doing everything he can to make you happy. And all you doing is trying to pick it apart and find fault with it. Stop it. Okay? Just stop. I mean, if it's as much of an issue, then get you a younger man. Shit, he can act a fool and what they say, turn your back out. Yes, Bob's. That's the kind I drink. I mean eat. Yes, you are, Keith. You're gonna give up meat soon enough. If you start having problems like this, your ass gonna be a salad eating little motherfucker. I bet you that. Might not want to do it yet, but you just wait. See, I don't like old men. I don't like old men. I'm old and I don't even like men my age. I can't do it. And plus, it's like you think that they get more sense when you imagine they get more sense when they get older. That don't happen either. Unfortunately, it's like they go on a curve. Okay, so they're stupid, stupid, stupid. And then around 40, they get a little bit of sense. And then they stay there for like a year. And then the decline starts. Then they get stupid again. So I don't know. Yeah, I like younger men too. Yeah, that's the phrase, blow your back out. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, I couldn't think of it all of a sudden. But yeah, younger men are more fun, but I'm not trying to like be in a relationship with one. Trust me. Been there, done that. No, not doing that either. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just have to think about that. Because I don't like old men. The young ones are stupid. What's left? I guess I can only date a guy who's between 39 and 45. And then by the time he hits 46, I got to let him go. You too old now. I can't deal with you. So anyway, that's our wonderful show for today. I'm glad you guys, came through. I didn't make it yesterday, but I'm on the mend, and hopefully I won't have any issues like that again. That was super scary, man. That was super scary. But I'm gonna get off of here and Shay. So with all that happening, Shay, I didn't make it to the post office to send off your stuff yet. But hopefully I'll be able to get my butt up there tomorrow and drop that off. I've been in the house trying to breathe and stuff. But you guys, take care. I will see you Friday night, okay? Friday night. Come with your advice questions, prepared to make your $8 contribution to the show. And I will answer your question just like I did these people's with, but it'll be your question answered right there in real time, right now. You will leave the show with the answers and the solution for what you need to do to fix your life. All right? So let me think. What do I need to do here? Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to put my little thing up so I can put my banner up, huh? So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate your patronage, your support. Share a link. And if you're not already a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscription button and the instant notification button. So in case I decide to just pop up, you can get a notification and you don't have to miss the live stream. Thanks everybody for coming. I'll see you guys on Friday night. Bye-bye.